Welcome. I have a gift for you today, and you'll have an audio video that you can click in or click on after this video. And it's a short meditation just to settle your mind and touch upon what I'm going to talk to you about today. So, in the first video, if you haven't watched it, please go back and do. I talk about what Ayurveda is, and it's a process of taking self-responsibility for our health and being proactive in that process and realizing that we're not giving our health away um, to to an external source. Like again, I mentioned allopathic Western medicine, where we're looking to a drug to fix us. We're looking for something that's an easy fix. And again, I mentioned like CBD, not that it's bad, but I just gave it as an example. And then I went into talking about the power of our habits. And in this video, I want to touch upon in the past, Americans have believed, especially in the fitness industry and motivating people in the new year, that we can use our willpower to create the reality that we want. But what's interesting about the mind is that it's no different than a muscle. So we can willpower ourselves through the day to say not eat something that's sugary. And let's say in our environment, when we wake up, our spouse had donuts at breakfast. And then we got to work and they had pastries. And then at lunchtime, they had candy in the lunchroom, and at the front desk, chocolate. And then after work, you went into a meeting and there was more sugar. And so your environment all day long is just challenging your willpower. And you worked so hard, you skipped lunch, and you got home, and again, those donuts were sitting on the counter, and you're so hungry. You've willpowered yourself for the day, and you're just fatigued at this point, and you eat the donut. So really, this concept of willpower is to think that our mind doesn't get fatigued, which it actually does. And it is said that the mind, that 80 to 90% of our thoughts are recycled, meaning that we think the same thing that we thought yesterday and the day before that. And what's interesting in what they're learning about brain science is that 95% of our choices are subconscious, meaning that it's just habits that are stacked throughout the day to build habits that we make the next day, to build the habits that we make the following day. So just as I mentioned in the previous video, is that we're basically just a stack of habits. We probably wake up and brush our teeth the same time and, drink our tea at the same time. And so really, if you think about your life, you're just repeating the same patterns or the same habits that you did before, and that your mind is recreating your reality of your habits. So what's beautiful about Ayurveda is that we work with the mind-body space, and we work with habits that build upon each other to create a lifestyle of health and to create a mind and a body that are balanced, where all of the 5 great elements that I mentioned in the last video are really balanced across the board. And I mentioned in the last video the concept of space and how we look at our environment. And if our environment is not ideal or not what we want it to be, then willpower is not going to work very well for us. So let's say that our pantry is full of foods that we don't want, or our fridge is full of foods that we don't want. We can only willpower ourselves for so long, but if those things weren't in the fridge to begin with or in the pantry, then our environment would be controlled. So that was that space element that I was talking about. Or let's say your environment is around a bunch of negative people who aren't building up the reality that you desire. So a lot of what we do in Ayurveda is we build the habits, we build a meditation practice, and we essentially rewire our brain for the reality that we want to create, and so that we can achieve that reality. So I hope you enjoy this meditation that I've included in the email sequence today, and I look forward to seeing you on the next side and on the next video. And I also have included something really special, and that's a tip sheet for habits that will help you live a healthy lifestyle. So enjoy the meditation, enjoy the tip sheet, and namaste. The light within me honors the light that shines within you.